In today's video, we're going to talk about Marvel. Marvel has a lot of issues at the moment, which will be rectified, and Kevin Feige will come out during San Diego Comic-Con 2023 and basically retcon and make a lot of changes of what he said only a year ago at San Diego Comic-Con last summer. So yo, what is freaking good YouTube voice do you hear? If you are new around it, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, pop culture, kaiju, monsterverse-based content that we cover on the daily basis. If you could, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and let me know down below, what is the biggest issue in your opinion about the MCU currently? And also, if you could, check us out on Instagram at WashStew to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. Check us out on Twitter, WashStewG. Right, let's get into this video. So we're going to start on a positive note. So, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 has just broke $650 million at the box office, which is positive. It means it's going to break a profit. It's going to make money, which is cool, because as we know, Quantumania didn't. Quantumania only hit $475 million, and yeah, sure, with Blu-ray sales, etc., it might just break even at worst case scenario. So it's cool that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 has broken even, essentially, roundabout broke even, give or take, but it will keep making money. We know Fast and Furious 10, Fast X came out this weekend and broke $300 million. But the drop-off isn't that much bigger than the previous weekend. It is still holding strong. So Marvel has a lot of issues at the moment. A lot of issues with everything. But Kevin Feige will come out at San Diego Comic-Con and rectify and retcon. And he's going to have to somewhat apologize for the train wreck that's happened in the last year. Because essentially what he did, he announced too many projects too fast, got everyone hyped, and it's all gone. So recently, it's been reported that Jeff Loveness, who penned Ant-Man 3, which nobody really liked. I really don't think many people like that, and this is why this report does make sense. It's not confirmed, it's not verified, but it is coming from a reputable source. Jeff Loveness is reportedly no longer going to write the Avengers Kang's Dynasty, which is Avengers 5. Now, that is huge, because as we know, Jonathan Majors is in legal issues at the moment. He has a domestic abuse case against his ex-girlfriend or current girlfriend. We don't really know the situation there. But they've put so much on that actor. Why would Marvel put the whole of Phase 5 and Phase 6 on Jonathan Majors? They should have just put it on a character called Kang the Conqueror and had lots of different variants of different actors playing him. Being him, when I say him, I mean Kang. But they've literally put it all on Jonathan Majors. Personally, irrespective of whatever happens, I think he is a very good actor. I think he played the Kang role very well. I think he did the best with a very weak plot. Kang should have came across very different. But to change a writer for a major Avengers 5 movie is huge news, because everything with Marvel has to connect. So they already got plans of how Loki Season 2 ties to everything else coming, and the fact that Jonathan Majors is part of that season, or apparently was part of that, although he's kind of maybe being written out, or they're maybe potentially going to change who is going to be playing a different variant of Kang if it goes bad for Jonathan Majors at court. So apparently Jeff Loveness was let go from the writing team for Avengers 5 before the writer's strike happened. So if Kevin Feige hasn't already hired a new writer before the writer's strike started, that means there'll be no progress from a writing standpoint, because a lot of people don't understand the fact that if you are a writer in Hollywood, you are going to support the writer's strike. You will not work. You cannot work during a writer's strike. So maybe they did hire a new writer, and this new writer is going to have be somebody who has a lot of likeness, a lot of pull. Maybe bring back the people that wrote Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, that being Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely. I think one of the issues with Jeff Loveness, there was a lot of issues, and then it was the interviews he was doing post that movie coming out, where he just kept coming out and saying stuff. He was bound to get fired. Like I said, we don't know if this is confirmed or verified. It is coming from somewhat of a trusted source, but we never know that, don't we? But Jeff Loveness did seem like a nice person in interviews. He did seem to love the comics and have a roundabout way of throwing comic book material in there. But it does seem that the internet seems to think that he has been fired. So if they haven't already hired new writers before said writers' strike, that means there's going to be no progression for Avengers 5, to be honest. And seeing as Avengers 5 will tie into Avengers 6, Secret Wars, I honestly can't see Avengers Kang's Dynasty coming out in 2025. Now, what is also interesting is Loki Season 2 is coming out in October. They've taken Jonathan Majors off all the promotional material for Ant-Man 3, and they've also done the following for Loki Season 2, as he is in Loki Season 2. So apparently, reportedly, it's not confirmed or verified by anyone, but this was said by a so-called insider. It was not the plan to make Kang the center of everything in the latter phases of the multiverse saga. But after Marvel brasses saw the dailies from Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, and after Jonathan Majors' performance in Loki, they decided to focus on the actor and his Kang character more heavily. I was told by someone who works for Marvel it was not the plan to make Kang the center of everything until they saw the dailies from Quantumania and his performance in Loki, which was strong, and they were like, this is it. This is the way forward. We've lost our varsity hero teams, but let's set up around this Kang guy. And this performance that so many people are reacting to. It went on to say, the writer added, she would argue Marvel has never hung so much of a franchise on one actor as they have on Jonathan Majors. This is coming courtesy of the podcast, The Ringer, the big picture podcast. I'd argue they did hang a lot on Robert Downey Jr. because the scale of everything and also the performance. Literally everything went downhill when Robert Downey Jr. left, so I'd argue they have done that before. And it went on to say the following. I don't think you or I are very interested in saying Marvel should or shouldn't do going forward, but we know this is a huge problem for them as they are facing and grappling with right now. And what's unprecedented is this for Marvel is, I would argue they've never hung so much of the franchise on one actor as they've tried to with Jonathan Majors after his performance in Loki and in Quantumania. Now, what is interesting is, if you get to the shell and nut of what it's actually getting to, is apparently there's already been reshoots for Loki. This would have happened before the writer's strike because they wouldn't be able to write any new scenes or anything without the writers, obviously. A lot of people seem to think they can do reshoots and write new scenes in randomly without the writers. No, you can't do that. When there's a writer's strike, you literally cannot add anything new that wasn't already planned out with scenes being scripted. So apparently what's happened is they have somehow rewritten some scenes or some post-credit scene towards the end of Loki where they're going to replace Jonathan Majors with a new actor who will become the new Kang the Conqueror. Kang, as we know, Victor Timely will be in Loki Season 2 as allegedly one of the main villains or the villain, without going into spoiler territory. So it's really easy to get around it, really, because there's so many different variances of the Kang character. The only issue is the Ant-Man 3 post-credit scene shows literally 150 plus different variances of Jonathan Majors' version of Kang, but they can change everything. Initially, me and a lot of other creators and a lot of the people online generally were like, yeah, Marvel, just bring Victor Von Doom, bring Victor Von Doom, bring Dr. Doom in, which I honestly really hope he is going to be part of at least Secret Wars. But based on insiders like Jeff Snyder, also other insiders from other websites, it's quite easy to see that they're not actually going to change anything in terms of a narrative plot in Kang. I mean, the movie's literally called Kang's Dynasty. They can't change the title of Avengers 5. Yes, I know, they've indirectly changed the title of Captain America 4, which is currently Captain America, A New World Order. But if you look online and certain rumors and stuff says Captain America 4 will get some kind of name change, which has not been confirmed yet. But it is interesting how the article goes on to say the writer's strike has nothing to do with the Captain America New World Order name change. It is a bit of a wild title, if you like, since New World Order is a conspiracy theory and the term being used for Russia/China political association. I'm pretty sure they will change the title. Now, that comes from a very well-respected source, Atlanta Filming. So, There's so many insiders coming out and saying stuff. So Alex Perez, who writes for Cosmic Circus, reshared something that basically alluded to Avengers Secret War being part 1, May 2026, part 2, May 2027. Or at least it won't feel rushed. And yeah, I believe they should do that because Secret Wars in the comics is so huge that it'll be so expensive to do it in one movie. And Marvel's biggest issue is they are rushing a lot of things, and that's why for the last few years, I mean, sure, you could blame what's going on in the world, but then they have big hits like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Multiverse of Madness was good, but they did reshoot changes at the last minute. They literally reshot half the movie, if not more. They just need to start penning good ideas properly. It doesn't matter how long it takes for them to release something. They just need to start writing better stuff. That's why them changing the writer for Kang's Dynasty is such a big thing, because Jeff Loveness is loved apparently and is a great writer, but I thought Ant-Man 3, it was decent, it was good enough, but when you sit on it and think more, there's obviously a reason why Fiege has to step in and has to change a bunch of stuff now, because it is looking pretty insane when you look at it. Majors and Marvel situation. Marvel actually hasn't done anything technically other than remove his name from any promotional material, etc. But apparently they have reshot with a different Kang variant in case it goes bad for Jonathan Majors at court. According to sources, Jonathan Majors will still portray Kang the Conqueror and soon to be revealed variant and up and coming season of Loki. No decision about the future following the second season has been terminated, but that could all change. But rumors are rumors, so we don't know what's real, but we do know that San Diego Comic-Con 2023, this coming summer, Kevin Feige is going to come out and retcon and change a lot of stuff. But we do have some cool things coming up as Marvel fans. They are just about to start shooting Deadpool freaking 3. And that movie looks like a multiversal killing spree, which is going to tie into the X-Men coming across from the Fox universe to the MCU, because technically they can't use or create or have their own variants of all these X-Men yet, or else they would have done it. Let me know if I'm wrong, because why haven't they already done it? So you're going to be seeing Patrick Stewart again. You're going to be seeing Magneto. We know we're going to be seeing Hugh Jackman. So Marvel has got cool things coming up. They just need to breathe, take their time, stop hiring bad writers, because it all comes down from the right. So why didn't they just bring the team back that did Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame? Well, I said they could bring like Christopher Marcus back and Stephen McFeely and bring the Russos back, sure. But the Russos haven't done anything good outside. I hate to be critical and harsh, but the Russos haven't done one decent project outside of Infinity War and Endgame. So how good are the Russo brothers? We don't actually know how good they are. So basically, what we're getting at is Marvel does somewhat have a bright future coming up still. It's just they need to breathe, rest, not announce stuff 7 years ahead of time, not rush stuff to hype everyone up, because everyone at San Diego Comic-Con last year, oh my God, we're getting Secret Wars. Yeah, we're not getting Secret Wars for a very long time, which is a good thing. They need to work on it properly. This writer's strike will slow everything down, and I don't really think they're going to be ready to shoot anything new outside of stuff that's already started shooting for a long time, because Blade was about to go in pre-production, but the script wasn't done. The writer's strike is really going to screw a lot of stuff up, especially in Marvel and in DC, really. So like always, guys, let us know, what do you think about the future of Marvel? Do you think Kevin Feige is going to hire a pretty good new writing team to write Avengers, Kang's Dynasty, and save everything? I think Deadpool 3 is going to save the MCU, if you ask me. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at WashU to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful face. Check us out on Twitter, WashUG, and I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch you later.